So now let's look at option sets and how they work with Power BI. So if we just create a very quick matrix and we put the Net Promoter Score type field on as a row, we can see here all we've got is the value. So that's all that actually gets pulled over. What we really want is the label to see whether it's a promoter, a detractor, a passive. And then what would also be good is to see if the description's got anything in there in the field in CRM, and also if the color field, if you're using a specific color and you want to get that hex number, that value, then we can do that as well. So the way in which we're going to do that, let's just get rid of the table. What we're going to do is we're going to use Xrm Toolbox. If you've not used this before, go ahead and Google it, download Xrm Toolbox. It's very, very easy to use. We've connected to a database, and now what we're going to do is we're going to go to the Power Query Inbuilder, and this tool is going to allow us to actually get the code that's needed to where we can then just go ahead and create a new table with this information. So I'm going to go ahead and open it. I'm going to load the entities. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to look for the contact. And once we've got the contact, you can either look for the fields directly, or I've also got a, if I can just make this a bit bigger, there we go. I've also got a view, Summit Form Results, and that's actually got those option sets in, or option sets that I want to be able to display. So once I've clicked on that, I'm going to click on Generate Option Sets. And what we've got is there's two option sets that are in that view. There's Net Promoter Score type, and there's also color selection. So we've already got color selection in the report. What I want is the Net Promoter Score type. I am going to select this, and I'm going to just copy it. I'm going to go back into my report. I'm going to come up here and do Get Data and do a blank query. Okay, so I've got my blank query, and rather than trying to paste in here, I want to do Advanced Editor, and I'm going to paste in what I've just copied from Xrm Toolbox and click Done. Awesome, so there we can see we didn't really have to do a whole lot, and we've got the value, which was what we had by default. That was the only thing we had. We've then got the color that's on each of those values. We've got the label, most importantly, and then we have the description as well. The last thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to right click and I'm going to do a rename, and I'm going to do Net Promoter Type. And then finally I'm going to do save and close, close and apply. So it's basically setting up any specific relationships, but we're going to do one last thing, and we're going to go onto the Relationships tab, and let's move this table over. And what we need to do is we need to basically find the Net Promoter Score type from the contact record. Hopefully we don't miss it. There we go. So we've got the Net Promoter Score type, and then we have the value. Those basically are the same thing. Well, that is going to be what we use to link those together. So the value from the table that we've created and the value that's on the contact for Net Promoter Score type is the same. That's our commonality between those two tables. So we've basically linked those two tables now. Okay. So now what we're able to do is if I go ahead, and let me just remove this so you can see what it's done. So now you can see that we've got this new table in here of Net Promoter Score type. Now if I wanted to put in a table of some kind, then I could go ahead and I could put in the color, the description, the label, and the value, and we can see that we've got everything that we could possibly need about the Net Promoter Score type, rather than only being able to actually have the value.